I'm joining Gavin Fenter ahead of racing on Friday to learn a little bit more about the Tara LAING runners. The yard kick-off with Lady Thea in race 1, and she'll be having her third career start.
Yeah, Nadine, she was very green the first two starts. She's more than likely going to be green again. She's going to need it for experience, and it is a tough race, but she's going to need the run.
We move to race 2, where we will see Tyron's Vision. Now, he'll benefit from the claim of Donald Geertsen, 2.5 kilos off.
He would be better over further, but he's had a bit of a break. He's going to need this run. He could run into the placings, but this is more of a prep run for further.
And he'll be joined by Villa Foz, who will be having his very first start, and he's a gelding by Curari.
Yeah, he's going to be very green. He's going to need this run. He's going to need experience, and he's probably going to need his next run as well.
The beautiful grey Frederico's Passion will be in action in race 3. And he gave perhaps a little bit, I know it's difficult to understand, but over-raced, even though it was a sprint last time out.
Yeah, look, he does need 1,000. I think his rating's a little bit high. Then that's why we opted to wait for this race, being a novice plate, barring that also Allen's has got a very high rating. So he's quite highly rated, so this is probably his best chance with the rating that he's racing off. But he does need 1,000. He could run into the money, but he'd be better over 1,000.
Thread of Life in race 5, we all know her. She runs to give hope to all of those that have cancer. Her stake checks also donated to that very worthy cause. Now, she was a well-deserved winner last time out.
Yeah, she eventually won. We took a gamble, put her on the poly, and she won a nice race. This is a big step up in class. It's going to be a lot tougher for her. But she can run into the money, but a lot stronger field.
2 hard knockers in race 6. We're going to start with Timbavati River. Now, he does have a big top weight to carry, but he's in good form, well suited to the mile, and he enjoys Chase Majan.
Yeah, we had him in this race and in the 14s. We weren't sure where to run him. You know, he had 61, 62. It's almost the same. I thought this was the easiest race, barring the Glencotten horse, which has got some decent form. If that runs better than it did the other day, it'll be very hard to beat. But barring that, he can definitely run into the money.
His stable companion, Pedro, is also in decent form and is a fan of course and distance.
Yeah, the same thing. He was in the 14 as well, but he would have ended up drawn 14, which would have been a no-hoper from there. So we opted to leave him in the mile. He's done well over a mile, but we have to get past that Glencotten's horse, My Betsy, I think it's called, and Timbavati River and 1 or 2 others. So a very open race, but probably an easier race than the last.
Now, the yard closes in race 8, the last of the day, with Arrivedercio, and this fellow really put up an eye-catching run on local debut last time out when he is doing his best work late over a trip that was on the sharp side for him.
Yeah, we had him in the previous race in a mile, but his form in Durban showed that he was actually better over 1,400. The 12 was way too short. It was more just a prep run and a gallop. So the 14 is the better distance. His draw wasn't against him, but in the weights he was actually drawn 41. We thought they might split the race. They didn't split the race. So we opted to leave him in because it is his best distance. That, like as I said, the draw's not in his favour. So we'll just probably drop him in, get him to run on. But he's definitely got a chance in this type of field. Yeah. He can run into the money.
Heed those words. I liked the look of him on local debut last time out. I was lucky enough to see him at track earlier this week. He's looking splendid, and I will not be leaving him out of my quartet.